everyone, this is Denise at Designs by Dana Denise, and I am getting ready to do our Saturday tutorial. And what we are doing today, I always put out on my Facebook page, I put out a vote and I give several options of signs and whether they want to see a tutorial on a grapevine or a mesh wreath, and I get my little followers and friends to vote on which one. And I sure appreciate all of you that participate every week and tell me what you want to see. So the vote, we had several that came close, but this week's vote was to see this sign. It's a deer sign. It's got leopard. Really cute. They wanted to see it, and the choice of base was a grapevine. So we are going to design this. I'm probably going to do a part 1 and 2. The first part will be putting this sign and the bow onto the wreath frame, and then part 2 will be adding the greenery and the finishing touches, whatever those are. Sometimes I add in things as I go or come up with new ideas. So I always like to say that is when you're designing, you just go with the flow. If you think of something along the way, you add it. So here we go. We'll get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've already kind of, sometimes I end up doing some more cleaning up of a grapevine, but I cleaned it up and got it prepared. And the next thing is to prepare the sign for attaching. And since this is a metal sign, and this metal sign does not have any pre-drilled holes, then I will use my nifty little jewelry hole punch. And I will determine where I need the holes, and then I will punch some holes. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to put this right in this area. So I think the best thing to do is punch one here, punch one up here somewhere, and maybe here. So what I think I'll do is do one in this area. And then one down in the middle. And then I am going to look. I think I want to put one maybe right in here. And a lot of times I just do 2, but because this is going to be sitting a little bit awkward on the wreath frame, I want to make sure it's on there really good. So and I don't really want it to stick out too much over here, like, you know, put it here. I've seen some like that, and I'm not sure how I feel about it personally. Everyone, each to their own. So I think I'm going to do that right about in there. So you can do this a couple of different ways. You can do it with a wire, floral wire. You can use it. If I have a pipe cleaner that's kind of in the same coloring as the sign, where it won't be as noticeable, I will do that. You know, like if you have a red base and you've got red pipe cleaners, you kind of hoping that they kind of blend in together. And so I really feel like that. You probably can't see that, but it's there, but it's not real, it doesn't stand out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these pipe cleaners in, get them ready. And I wanted to tell you, if you want to make your own wreaths, or you if you're just not feeling very confident, we all go through that. I mean, I can get on Facebook, and because that's the subject that Facebook knows I like to look at, you'll see all kinds of people that are building really pretty things. It's all a process. You get better. I know that the ones that I build today are a lot better than what I built a year ago. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. You got to start somewhere. Hopefully that helps someone. And, you know, a good thing to start with is don't try to do like overboard at first. Try to do basics. The other thing is you have to determine what your budget is. When you see these big, nice, elaborate wreaths, there's a lot of money involved in those, and they're beautiful. But if maybe you're on a budget and you don't have the funds right now to do that, then you can still build a beautiful wreath, budget friendly. I better do that bottom one next. I'm gonna just twist it several times to make it secure. And the bad thing about doing it that way is now, you know what? Take my advice not to take my advice. I think you need to do your top two. I normally don't do two. That's probably why I didn't already know this. And maybe I didn't really need to, but it's better to have a sign on there really good than to not. So trying to see where the other one's poking out. There it is. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so now that sign is in there secure. So the next thing we're going to do, and I may end up building two bowls, one for kind of down in here and then one for kind of up in here. So let's get started. Let's start with the top bow. Get rid of some of this stuff. And I've picked out some ribbon, and I'm not real sure yet what I'm doing. I will have to say I kind of struggled a little bit with this sign because I didn't want it to make it look too like fallish, because it's a deer, so it's really kind of a winter design, but it's in some fun colors with it has the leopard around it, but then it's got some orange, it's got some cream tree leaves because it's snowy. But then also there's white. There's white trees. I don't know that you can see that from your view, but it's got white, cream, orange, fallish looking colors, and then it's got the leopard. So, I was looking for what, oh, there it is. I was going to possibly even use, I got some brown in there. I like those brown stripes. I'm always into them brown stripes. But anyway, and I actually kind of matched this sign a little bit. I've got some leopard in my shirt. Wait, okay, I just went down a dirt road. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's start with the leopard. Since it is the thickest, this is 2.5-inch wired ribbon. I got this at Craft Outlet. They have all kinds of different leopard ribbons. If you're interested in the number, it's RGB 140118. So I'm going to take it and start off my bow. Since this one is going to probably be sitting like right in here, I'm going to give it I'll give it about a 15-inch tail. And then you loop, come up with your loop. And I probably will, this is probably going to turn out a 6-inch, yep, 6-inch bow. So that's a 6-inch loop. This is kind of very thick ribbon. I'm going to give it 4 loops. We've got that. And this sign really is going to be a good sign that you could actually hang it out in the fall and then put your Christmas wreath out for the Christmas season, and then you could put this one back up because people, including myself, struggle with knowing what to put out for January, February, part of March before you start putting your spring stuff and decorating for spring. So this wreath would make a really good so I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to go this other direction with my loops and twist to make sure that you're keeping the good side on the outside. Do that like that. So I just did 2 loops for that. And then I'm going to come in with a really pretty, and I didn't tell you what that was. This, I believe, came from Craft Outlet also. This is the brown and kind of a cream stripe. And it's X916309-38. If it didn't come from Craft outlet, it would have come from greenerymart.com or BB Crafts. I'm not for sure, but those would be the 3 to check. And then this one here is really pretty. It's a cream color, and I don't know if you can see, but it kind of it has some sparkles. It's really pretty. I'm going to add it to the front here. So what you have is you have a 2.5 inch thick back of the bow. So just for any general thing. Of course, there's no rule, so you can do whatever you want. But there's 2.5 inch on this. This one is a 1.5 inch. And then this cream colored one is a 7/8 inch ribbon. I've got a couple of tutorials out on making a bow, but I really need to do some where it's just on my hands and kind of from up above to kind of show y'all more detailed how to make a bow. Actually, I think I'm going to do another loop, and then I'm going to do a smaller loop for the center. So I did a little center thing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, so that's going to go right there. Let me get a zip tie. And I actually have moved my stuff around. There we go. I've moved everything around, trying to get better angles for videoing. So I've kind of had to move my stuff where I'm used to it being. Okay, cut off that zip tie end, and now I will take a pipe cleaner. Sometimes I add a pipe cleaner to the back before I do the zip tie completely so it's hanging on, and sometimes I just feed it through. So if you ever accidentally forget or you just want to do it this way, I do it both ways. I just put it around. You can't see it because I've got this little loopy thing. And then you attach it. So, I am going to attach this about right in here. I'm actually going to have to take it off here so I can see what I'm doing. If it's actually going through. Trying to find the good places that have got some too high. Yep, I did. I need to go lower. One good thing about zip ties, if you change your mind where you want it, you can undo it. Okay, so there is that. And of course, we will do our tails. What I'm doing is folding it in half, and then on the fold, this is the fold side, I'm going up to that top corner, and then you have okay, so there is that one. And as big as that thing is, I don't know if I'm going to do a lower one or not. Tell you what I'll do. I'll do just a small, like a one looper with ribbons. What I'm doing is just look at this again. I want to see if I want this or not. You know, guys, I think that the one big bow is enough. We'll fill this in with the florals. And I think as of right this moment, we're just doing one bow. So let me end this video, and I will have a part 2 showing adding the florals and finishing off the wreath. So I'm so thankful that you joined me. And if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to. And like this video. And if you're on Facebook, I would love for you to join my Facebook page. So talk to y'all later. See you on part 2.